Lucinda Williams was only 10 years old in 1963, living in Santiago, Chile, when she first fell under the spell of Beatlemania. She spent her days glued to the radio, her bedroom walls plastered with Beatles posters, and scrapbook pages overflowing with magazine clippings of the Fab Four. Her first crush was Paul McCartney, which soon shifted to George Harrison as her fandom deepened. Looking back, Williams admits she was one of those young fans completely swept away by the frenzy surrounding the band. She prefers to think of it not as an infection, but as being touched by something magical, the pure joy that only the Beatles' music could spark. Now an acclaimed singer-songwriter known for Fruits of My Labor, Can't Let Go, and her signature blend of rock, folk, and country, Williams has transformed that lifelong admiration into a tribute album of Beatles covers. Lucinda Williams Sings the Beatles from Abbey Road is set for release on December 6th as the 7th volume of her Lou's Jukebox series, in which she reimagines songs by other artists. Speaking from a hotel room in New York's East Village, Williams reminisced about her first encounters with the Beatles' sound and how the band's influence has lingered ever since. The 71-year-old musician launched her Jukebox series during the pandemic to stay creative, releasing 6 volumes that paid homage to the Rolling Stones, Bob Dylan, and her late friend Tom Petty. In 2020, Williams faced a life-altering stroke that kept her hospitalized for 5 weeks in Nashville. Though it left her unable to play guitar due to limited use of her left arm, her relentless determination and months of physical therapy brought her back to performing and writing. She admits her stubbornness played a part. Giving up was simply never an option. Since her recovery, Williams has returned to what she loves most: writing, touring, and recording. Her 2023 album, Stories from a Rock and Roll Heart, marked her first studio release since the stroke, and her Beatles project follows nearly 4 years later as her next jukebox chapter. Having already explored the catalogs of rock, blues, and country legends, Williams felt it was finally time to pay tribute to the band that first made her dream about music. Her husband and manager, Tom Overby, encouraged her to make the experience unforgettable by recording it at none other than Abbey Road Studios in London, the very place where the Beatles crafted their timeless records. Gaining access to Abbey Road wasn't easy. The studio staff didn't immediately recognize her name, and she had to work a bit to convince them she was the real deal. In the end, her persistence paid off, and she became the first major artist since the Fab Four, a Beatles tribute band, to record Beatles songs within its iconic walls. Williams had just 2 days to record 12 tracks, and though she wasn't sure what to expect, the studio turned out to be surprisingly modern. Still, the weight of history lingered in every corner. She couldn't help but wonder if she was sitting where George once sat, or walking where John once paced, feeling both awe and reverence as she worked. There was no time to be overwhelmed, though. With the tight schedule, Williams and her band dove straight into the sessions, leaving little room for hesitation. That pressure, she realized, was a blessing. It kept her focused on the music, rather than the enormity of the moment. The hardest part, however, came before setting foot in the studio, choosing which songs to cover. With more than 200 Beatles tracks to pick from, narrowing the list down to 12 proved daunting. Naturally, she leaned toward their early work, the songs that first captured her imagination as a child. She recalls the way those melodies once made her feel, songs like Strawberry Fields Forever filling her with warmth and wonder. Even now, she can't quite explain what made the Beatles so special. To her, their magic wasn't something that could be analyzed or explained. It was something you simply felt.